Hello, we're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Mind introducing yourself?
I'm Mrs. Heyen, and I teach junior high science here at Mount Olive Junior High.
Well, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
You are the first person from the junior high we have interviewed.
I'm excited about that.
Yes, I'm also quite excited. So let's just get into this. How'd you choose to become a teacher?
I have always had a passion to work with kids, and I've been involved in a lot of organizations and different things. And from a very early start, before I even graduated high school, I knew that I was going to become a teacher someday.
How'd you choose science out of all of them?
So I didn't go into it choosing science. I did, when I was going to school, I thought I was going to teach like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, that middle elementary area. And then I had a student teaching experience that allowed me to go into a junior high setting, and it was in a math classroom, and math has always been a passion of mine. So then I kind of shifted and added in the middle school area, thinking I'd become a math teacher. And I didn't end up there either. I ended up in science.
Well, I guess that kind of answers it. Another question I have on here is if you've always wanted to be a science teacher, but you just answered that one for us, didn't you?
Yeah, but I do love science. You know, I've always loved hands-on. Even when I was in school, math and sciences have always been my passion. And it was just a perfect, time for me to end up here at Mount Olive and end up in a science classroom where I get to do math and science basically every single day.
Any advice for someone who's also passionate in that field?
Passionate in the field? I just think that you should always try things. Science is such a hands-on class and activity and curriculum that you can just be part of organizations. You can go on trips. You can watch videos. And get on YouTube or any other social platform, and almost all the videos you can find tons of science things that are interesting to you and that you can learn more about.
Do you have any other jobs before this one?
I have been a teacher here for 21 years. So no, I have been a teacher at Mount Olive my entire career.
How'd you find Mount Olive?
I live very nearby. I live in Gillespie, so it's one of our neighboring districts. And when this opportunity came up, a friend of mine who is from Mount Olive told me about it, and I applied and was fortunate that it was my first teaching job.
Well, since you've been here for so long, has anything really changed from the beginning days to now?
Oh, it's changed so much. We've gone from overhead projectors and textbooks to now everything is digital, and we have our Promethean boards. I've to the point in my career where I'm now teaching former students' children. So I'm teaching second generations at this point, I enjoy it, but sometimes it makes the ex-students feel old, but it definitely makes me feel a little older.
Have you done any fun, sciencey stuff this year?
This year, just yesterday we started March Mammal Madness, which is a favorite in the junior high, really around the whole country. So we have a bracket of 65 combatants that are going to have simulated fights similar to any other March Madness bracket, and we have an ultimate winner, and it's become a fan favorite in the junior high.
I know it's
You may remember that.
Yes, I do. It's also still a favorite around this part, too.
Yeah.
Last year we had something to do with it, but this year now it's more the kids doing their own things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, they already believe it's rigged. They already disagree. If I remember correct, one of the first fights, one of the animals ran away and they went, "Nuh-uh, that's rigged. It shouldn't have gone that way." And they were not pleased in the slightest. I wouldn't be either, though.
But it gives everyone, even if they think it's rigged, it gives you a chance to learn about 65 different species that you may not have known before. This year, kind of the unknown species is a zorilla that everyone's looking up. They think it's a gorilla, and it happens to actually just be an African skunk.
Well, that's certainly a name that would throw you off your hinges. Any other fun things you've done this year besides the March Mammal Madness?
Well, I'm involved with Miss Moulton in the STEAM Club, and this year we have around 2/3 of our students are in STEAM Club this year, so we have between 60 and 70 active members in it, and we're meeting every 2 weeks roughly and doing lots of activities. We've already done our spooky houses. In the past, we've done them during Christmas time as gingerbread houses. Made them spooky this year. That was a lot of fun. And we are currently doing our electricity unit in 8th grade, and so they are getting ready to do circuitry and things like that. But everything we do is we try to do hands-on, cell analogy projects, and try to kind of bring science to life.
I know we also have a STEAM.
STEAM. Yep, we got to include the art, right? Which is one of your favorites.
It is. We also have a STEAM club up here. I'll tell you what, not nearly as many people up here.
Yeah.
I'm personally in it myself. We've messed with resin. I think that's about it.
Well, it gets harder when you're in high school. You know, there's more activities for you guys. You have jobs, you have relationships, and, you know, life gets in the way a little bit from being able to be as active in a club.
Yeah, it still doesn't stop me. Never will. Oh, my. I know there are a lot of students that struggle with sciences and maths, so any suggestions for those ones?
I think that you should just always go into it with an open mind. You know, if you come in closed-minded and you're not really thinking you can do it, then you're not able to hear, you know, what's going on or have that kind of like aha moment where it kind of clicks with you. Just keep an open mind and be willing to ask questions. You know, that's really a lifesaver, I think, is the asking questions. And there's so many resources today. If you don't want to ask in class, you know, you can go home and there's definitely a YouTube video that will show you anything today.
It's definitely a very advanced age we're in.
It is.
It's a bit intimidating nowadays.
Yes. Yeah, and you don't know if what you're watching is real or artificially made, but it still can help you through. There's a lot of different resources out there that are good.
Yes, there certainly is. I remember a couple of my favorite projects that I've done, even though my time in junior high was definitely a bit different than the modern ones.
It was a little bit different, yeah, with not having school every day and not being in person. What was one of your favorites?
Oh, my favorite activity, I think, had to be the egg drop, where you didn't realize the foam was a bit overpowered, so everyone ended up living.
Yeah, that was good. We haven't done that for a couple of years,
Well,
actually.
why not?
We need to bring it back. Yeah, that was when we went into the gym and used the scissor lift.
And
yeah.
we just throw things.
And we just threw things.
Yeah, you just didn't quite realize that the foam was something else. Even after you limited our foam amount.
Yeah.
I remember my egg still survived.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who my partner was. I also believe it was it your class that we extracted the glow stick glass out of?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did that in I don't know if we did that in science class or if we did it in STEAM club when we took the glass out
I
of
don't think I was in STEAM club back then.
Okay, so we must have done it during class, probably around Halloween time. So we learned how glow sticks are made and the chemical reactions that occurs with them.
I remember personally I was the first kid to get it out. So
Good memory.
Yes, I get bragging rights there on a very small niche thing. What's your favorite thing you've done in that class?
Oh, that's hard to say.
You've had about 20 years to think about it.
I know. We do so many fun things, you know, like
Can't name one.
I love taking field trips. You know, I love getting everyone out of the classroom and taking them places. You know, for years we've gone to, we went to exhibits that aren't around here all the time, like Body Worlds, where we were able to take entire buses with parents and everything. We've organized that. A new favorite of mine is that the 8th graders, when we're learning about physical science and laws of motion, we do the NHRA races down in St. Louis. We get to go down to the drag strip and learn all about that and meet the drivers. And, you know, there's so much that goes into it, not just the science of the day. They'll learn about, you know, marketing, and they'll learn about the driving, and they learn about advertising, and it's a really good day.
It definitely helps you hold on to what you're learning whenever it's something fun like that.
Yeah.
I tend to realize it and think about it more, even though I'm much more of a English person than anything. I still remember a couple of things from your class.
Well, good.
Another one of my favorite things was the time you had us write Science Day Valentine's Day cards.
Yeah.
Gave it to Bayla. She still has it.
I love that. I love that. That's something that I don't usually do every single year. I do it every few years, so it'll probably come back next year.
I think it definitely was a very funny thing.
Good.
And it's still in pristine condition, and it's
Perfect.
a
I love that.
everlasting joke.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is that something like that you remembered, somebody else may not remember. Kind of like the March Mammal Madness right now. Some kids are so excited about starting it, and some just kind of, it's not their thing at all. So you have to kind of find what interests you, and learning about cells, or whether it's learning about something more like earth science with volcanoes, earthquakes, things like that, rock cycle. In 6th grade, we're getting ready to start our volcano projects, and that's where we always record from the foot of a volcano, and we are reporters, and we usually work with the high school classes on that to do some green screen recording. So hopefully we can continue that too.
That definitely sounds fun. I don't remember doing something like that in my year.
Well, again that was the COVID year. Yeah, different experience.
Quite a different year than everyone else did. But that definitely seems fun.
Yeah.
Well, you have anything else you'd like to leave off on?
Just thank you for having me and letting me talk a little bit about kind of the fun things that we do in junior high science. We're trying to always get everyone ready to come up here to become a wildcat. And we'll just keep doing what we're doing down there, and keep that family feeling alive between us all.
I think it's definitely good to know more about science than just a bunch of packets and papers.
I think so too.
We are so happy to have you.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.